CEVO TV's broadcast of CEVO-Main DotA2. We've got a best of 3 here between Epic Bulls and Lzuruha Gaming. Sorry for the delays. Dota had a big patch today. If you guys are Dota players, you're all obviously very aware of this and very excited for this. And what you will also know is that the servers were down for quite a while. They came back up, some people getting off of work, just getting back home for this best of 3 that was scheduled a while ago. And whoa, my game sounds are incredibly loud right now. Not sure why. But some people were updating, and then there were some other updates that came through as well. So it took us a little while. That would be why, because this update reset the volume. That seems to be a good setting there. Alright, sorry for that. And they reset some of the settings, and then there were updates on updates while we were waiting in the lobby, so it was a little bit of a delayed, but without further ado, here we go into the game. We're on the banding stage now. We've got Team Lzuruha. They have the first pick, first ban scenario, so they take out the Pugna, they take out the Death Prophet. Two of the strongest pushing heroes in the game right now, in the game in general, and just very popular as of late in 6.79. Receiving some strong buffs, especially Death Prophet with that exorcism. And then these are actually 4 of the most common bans coming out right here. Elder Titan and Lich going to be taken out by Epic Bulls, and that's going to lead Team Lzuruha into their first pick here. And for some of you watching in the game, we are on the secondary channel today. I'd love to have you on the stream. That's going to be twitch.tv/playcevo1. That is the number 1, playcevo1. You can also find the game over on the new watch page on CEVO.com. That'll be CEVO.com/watch. And there'll be some CSGO streams up there as well as Dota 2, so you'll be able to you'll see the drop down box. You can select which stream shows up on the website. It's very, very nice, and hopefully a place where you guys will come to watch Dota 2, especially CEVO in general, over there on the watch page. A lot of new stuff coming from CEVO here pretty soon, so stick around. It's going to be a lot of fun. The new watch page looks incredible, by the way, so definitely head over there. Watching the stream either there or on Twitch, both will have the chat box available to you, so you can chat, stay involved with the community. A lot of the players are the players' friends, and other people that play in CEVO are generally in the chat, so it's a lot of fun. So if you're in-game, make sure to check that out to get more involved in the CEVO community here, as we do have some picks out, as we notice here. We've got that Darkseer first pick, surprisingly enough. Still a very, very good hero, but he's sort of just fallen off recently. Maybe they get greedy with it, jungle it, or just throw it into the offlane. Still a strong offlane hero, and it is hard to push against. So I'm actually kind of curious as to why the Darkseer has fallen off. Maybe people just experimenting around more with duo lanes. Darkseer still going to be better in a solo situation. It's Darkseer Visage there for Team Lzuruha. Over on the Radiant Epic Bulls, they go Clockwork and Venomancer. So very, very strong heroes right now. The offlane has become a little easier to manage, a little easier just in general, especially for Clockwork being very, very tanky, able to do a lot of damage on one-on-one if he finds a support isolated, or even a squishy carry early on. Can get kills in a 1v2 setting, so very strong, and a huge impact once he hits level 6, level 7. And then we've got Venomancer, a hero recently patched with those Plague Wards to be very... I feel like I don't have to go over these changes anymore. Venomancer, a very, very good hero now with those Plague Wards. So annoying. They pick him up second. Which is pretty common these days. The Venomancer, the Viper pick, very, very common now. Clockwork and Timbersaw seem to be pretty top tier at the moment, always picked up early on.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
And we've got some more bans coming out. I heard the little squeak of a Puck there. Puck and Invoker are going to be taken out there by Team Lzuruha, both strong mids, and if you go Quas Wex, both of those heroes are very, very good at team fight control and can get a lot done for their lineups. Hard to push into as well. I mean, Tornado EMP isn't that much fun to push into unless you've got 3 sets of mana boots. as it's very, very strong now. Puck as well with the Dream Coil, the silence potential when you try to take it
Reserve
uphill.
time.
And well, Epic Bulls, they pick up the one green annoying guy with all those slows and all that poison. That's the Venomancer. They ban out the other one. That's a Viper taking the ban. So Pugna and Viper, I like how they're so popular now. For those that don't know, the lore is that Pugna spawned this Nether Drake and was going to raise it or whatnot and enslave it or something. And the Nether Drake was like, nah, I'm too cool for you, and broke away. So that's that. Viper and Pugna, they're connected in the lore, and now both very popular picks. Very, very annoying to play against as well. As we've got Viper and Crystal Maiden going to be that fourth ban outs. Very, very popular now with that Crystal Nova getting a buff, freezing fields, her aura being reworked over the last couple balance patches.
Remaining.
Just, very slightly every time, but they finally have added up to make her a very
5
top tier
seconds
pick at the
remaining.
moment. A great roaming support, a pretty good zoning support, and a support that can go into the jungle and
Reserve
jungle
time.
basically at level 1 if you get Frostbite first. And it's very effective, can get a lot out of it. Good in duo lanes as well. Her one downside, she's a little squishy, and she's very, very slow, so she can end up feeding if you're not too careful. But if you play it right, one of the best heroes in the game right now. Especially, well, definitely, only in that support role. And it's going to be Gyrocopter
Dire
here, picked
team
up
pick.
third. Alright, so Gyrocopter's picked up. He hasn't really been
seconds
changed. He's a
remaining.
very hard hero to go aggressive into because of the
5
flat cannon,
seconds
because of
remaining.
the rocket barrage. And he can take it ultra late. He's good early as well because of his abilities.
Reserve
They
time.
lend to a 5v5 engagement or even one-on-one. Gyrocopter, one of the best burst damage heroes 1v1 with that rocket barrage. The Q, and for those of you less familiar with Dota, we could pull it up here. As this is a multi-gaming stream, so who knows if you have some CS watchers. That's rocket barrage. It's clearly a very tanky Sven there, but we can see it does a lot of damage 1v1. And the reason it doesn't do damage, 1v2 is because Rocket Barrage will split randomly to other things around you. So one-on-one, you're going to get all the damage out of it. Flak Cannon as well, attacking everybody in a very, very large 1,000 radius AoE. Could be very, very annoying in the lane. That's a lot of harass that can go out. And it also means Gyrocopter can find a lot of farm later on in the game. And not to mention his ultimate here. We'll just go through all of them because I just found out about this the other day, that you could double-click these spells and catch the video, which is pretty awesome. And maybe a little laggy sometimes because this one
Radiant
doesn't seem to be
team
pulling
pick.
up. I find it hard to believe they wouldn't have one for call down. Homing Missile has one. This is the spell no one gets on Gyrocopter, unless you play it mid, but mid Gyrocopter has fallen out of favor quite heavily. And since then, we've got some more picks. They go with a pretty defensive support there. In the Rubik, they pick that up fourth. And right before that, Team Lzuruha, they go with the Lifestealer as their third pick. So Visage Lifestealer going to be very strong. Potentially the beginnings of an aggressive tri-lane, which would lead Darkseer into a 1v1 match. However, if they do that, Darkseer goes and gets matched up against Clockwork, who actually wins that matchup. The Rocket Barrage
10
damage,
seconds
or excuse me,
remaining.
not Rocket Barrage, the Battery Assault, which is actually a very similar spell to Rocket Barrage,
Radiant team ban.
does more damage than the Ion Shell if you keep them at the same levels. So Clockwork can win that with a nice cogs. With an Ion Shell, Darkseer can be in a bit of a pickle. The only way to really win it on clock, though, is to be very, very aggressive running at the Darkseer, because if you
10
just try to
seconds
farm,
remaining.
you will not have a fun time in the lane with Ion Shell on the creep. So
5
yeah,
seconds
it's an
remaining.
interesting lane. It's definitely going to be pretty fun to watch if that's what happens, but it won't be. Lifestealer,
time.
Visage, Darkseer, Batrider. Are Team Lzuruha aware that the game got patched? Because as of right now, this looks to be a stunning 6.78 lineup. It's still quite good here in 6.79, but it's a little less common. They obviously are aware there's a patch with the bans. They banned out Invoker, Death Prophet, and Pugna. And a couple months ago, that would have been ridiculous to do. So they're definitely aware, but they're keeping a lineup that maybe they're comfortable with, have played before. Batrider, an interesting pick. That lasso nerf, the base damage nerf as well to Batrider, really hurt him. He's still great, and he gets picked up occasionally now. Same thing with Wisp along those lines. I mean, Batrider and Wisp were top tier for so long, 100% pick ban rates, and now, well, they have started to fall off, which is great. It's more heroes that get played, more heroes that get the spotlight. It seems to be the new pick bans are Pugna, Death Prophet, Lich, and Elder Titan, which we see them here all banned out once again. And Timbersaw, and I'm pretty surprised. Timbersaw has seen a lot of success and has a high pick ban rate. And he hasn't been picked up here yet at all, so we'll see if Team Lzuruha maybe wants to run him, if they could fit it in as their mid laner and take Batrider into the jungle, Darkseer off, Visage Lifestealer, safe lane together in a duo lane. Wouldn't be bad. Clockwork, Venomancer, Gyro, Rubik. They've got the supports. Clockwork's the offlaner. Gyro could mid, probably will safe lane, so I don't think Epic Bulls can really pull off the Timbersaw pick here. They actually do ban out the Razor, interestingly enough.
Remaining.
Razor, one of the best heroes to pick up versus Lifestealer, and Epic Bulls is in need of a mid. They could have definitely put Razor in that position. We'll see what they get done, however.
Reserve time.
And once again, just to reiterate, in case any more people have come into the game, I feel like no one's watching Dota right now, because the only thing I want to do at the moment is play Earth Spirit. So I feel maybe there's not a ton of you in game, but if you are, do check out the stream. This time I am on Play CEVO-1, so that is twitch.tv/playcevo1. You can also catch the action over at CEVO.com/watch. The new watch page launching for CEVO. It's going to be pretty awesome. Lots of multi-game action there from the various CEVO streams. Play CEVO 1, 2, 3, 4, however many we get when we start picking up some more games here, we'll see. So we'd love to have you over there, and also following this stream,
Team pick.
as it's OD that is the ban out. So seeing that Epic Bulls needs a mid, actually both banning out mids here, and maybe that's why I think Epic Bulls really wanted that Troll Warlord, thinking maybe they'll pick Razor if we go for it. And there it is, Troll Warlord picked up, probably going to be run in the mid lane. There's potential it's Gyrocopter, and Troll Warlord was getting picked up a lot at the tail end of 6.78. They adjusted the Whirling Axe's damage on the melee just a little bit, and that was pretty much the only change, but it was enough because, yeah, Troll was a really fragile hero, and then you could push towers and Rat Dota with him, but with this patch, not only did he lose a little bit damage on the spell that made him a strong laner,
Reserve time.
the threat of Rat Dota is not as prominent anymore, with just all the teams grouping up as 5, with the Death Push, with Death Prophet, with Pugna. Rat Dota still has its time and place, but it's going to be more dependent on the draft. You can't just do it every game. It's a lot easier to counter
remaining.
now.
5 seconds remaining.
Alright, 5. Ooh, interesting. They're going to go Shadow Shaman as their last pick, and it's been a while since I've cast Lzuruha Gaming. I have cast them before. It's going to be Epi Zudik playing the Shadow Shaman, so I don't know if that's going to be potentially mid. I really, really hope it's going to be in the mid lane, but it could also just be a support Shadow Shaman. We'll see what they want to get done. And Epic Bulls, a team that I've played with them a couple times, and I've also cast them. No, I don't think I have. I've played with them, and I've scrimmed against them, so I know that they're a quality team, although I don't see some of the names I would recognize. It is Epic Bulls, and I don't see Epic Epics on the team right now. So we'll see what they can get done here tonight, but it should be a pretty quality match here. Epic Bulls going up against Lzuruha Gaming. As wow, people have the goods tonight. What are we gonna steal? I kind of like Default, to be honest. Default, I'm feeling it lately. Ooh, Defense Grid is kind of weird. And yeah. Alright, quick pause, maybe some more delays here. Hopefully he doesn't have to update, or there wasn't an update in the meantime to slow us down, as we did get started a little bit delayed tonight, mainly because of the patch. And I quickly do want to check how many of you beautiful people are watching in-game here. We've got, not too many, just 25 and 42 in the other one, so that about covers it. Everyone, same number. Could be a perfect 1-to-1 ratio of stream and in-game. Alright, we'll see what they're going to do here. Loud Metal on the Darkseer. Should just be taking the offlane. Bat, going to go into the jungle. Maybe show up in lane for a little bit. I feel like it's harder to get started in the jungle now. I guess you got to go over to the small camp here. Do this camp twice, hit level 2, and then after that point, I think it's almost faster to jungle on Batrider than it was before, because they've got the medium camp here now, along with the hard camp here, so you can go for more, a little bit more farming, a little bit more XP as a result of that. And then, oh no! I can't do showcase view. One of the changes that came in here in this recent patch, showcase view is so awesome. Looking at your hero from all sorts of angles, looking at those hats, those cosmetic items that we do all love, and not to mention all the crafting, and even the 2 heroes that got added in, Ember Spirit and Earth Spirit. Heroes I were aware of, you know, of course they're in Dota 1 already, but didn't play Dota 1 at that time. I had already sort of retired from Dota 1. But yeah, they are so much fun, and I think Earth Spirit is the most fun hero I've ever played in my life. And I'm going to play him every game for like a month starting after this. Probably not. I'll probably lose the first game and be like, alright, I'm done. But here we go. We've got Lzuruha Gaming on the Dire as we start this best of 3 here tonight. It's going to be Shadow Shaman supporting here in the top lane. That's Epi Zudik going to be handling that one. Snow playing that support Visage, and Jeeves carrying here on the Lifestealer. This does indeed mean they're not getting too greedy with their lanes, although I feel they could have. It's going to be FK playing the Bat Rider in the mid lane, and last but not least, Loud Metal, the Darkseer, going into the off lane. Epic Bulls, they're looking to put 5 man up here in the jungle, maybe going on a dewarding spree, thinking Bat Rider could be jungling, and that's probably why they're here. They want to see the tri lane if it's going to be here, or if it's going to be a duo lane, and they're going to try to jungle it up, which they aren't, but all 5 heroes here looking for someone, and, well, they're not going to find anybody. The aggressive tri-lane here, is that what they're going to leave the lanes as? As we introduce, we've got X-Kai supporting up here on the Venomancer. Keegan going to be playing that support Rubik as well, blocks the pull camp with the Sentry. 11, he'll be playing the Troll Warlord here in that aggressive tri-lane, or is it just going to be Venomancer off lane? What are we doing here? Troll looks like he's just going back to block. Gyrocopter is to you. Going to be heading into the bot lane. It's going to be Elmo ER on the Clockwork in the middle lane, and I believe that takes care of everybody. It was, yeah, 11 on the Troll Warlord. They're going to run duo lanes, so Troll up here versus a very, very strong defensive tri-lane. As we see Epizudik putting up his wards on the rune spot. So yeah, both of them putting on the wards on the top rune. Where do we have? I think they're still holding one. Yeah, Venomancer is still holding one. Might find the need to put it down in this area to get vision over there into the jungle just to make this lane potentially a little easier. Keegan picks up a haste. There's not a whole lot of damage here at level 1, as Venomous Gale is even worse at level 1 now. I like how I say worse. I was going to say worse than it was, but before it was actually really good. You had that damage over time, able to get first blood with it pretty easily if you landed one. Strong spell, but now there's no damage over time at rank 1. It gets stronger later, but Venomancer took sort of a nerf in that department and a big buff in between Poison Sting and the Plague Wards. Or really just the fact that now they work together. And it's going to be a solo lane down here. Gyrocopter versus the Darkseer. This is a really good matchup for the Gyro. Same way that the Clockwork, who finds himself in the mid lane, that Battery Assault out damages the Ion Shell. Same thing here with Rocket Barrage. Will out damage the Ion Shell. And he's also ranged, so he can attack down the creep pretty quickly. House is getting loud, sorry. Alright, top lane, the farming. We've got Troll with 4 last hits, so it is not going to be a duo offlane like I thought they might run. Gyrocopter will be fine in the bottom lane. We've got the Troll Warlord here, 11, 4, and 2, and the Lifestealer going to be sitting at 1 and 1. So the tri-lane is definitely having its effect, slowing down that farm on the Lifestealer. Troll Warlord, a hero that doesn't really need much farm, just needs those levels, and putting him in a tri-lane like this does slow down, you know, how fast he's going to be getting his levels. Damn it, that's still disabled. He really just needs that battle trance, and the team just becomes so strong, especially with Gyrocopter. Initiation there goes out onto Snow. Snow lifted, taking a lot of damage and slowed. Whirling Axe's melee will finally hit 11. Continues on the chase. That's the first blood. 11 draws it up. Now Jeeves in a little bit of trouble. The Lifestealer scurrying away, but Poison Sting's skilled up here. Can they get one more? They can't. And it's going to be Whirling Axe's still... Well, I think melee may have been available. They could have potentially got 2 kills there. Would have been close, maybe not even possible, but nicely done there. 1 kill early here, and I feel like my in-game volume might just be a little low, so we'll go on watching Elmo here in the mid lane while I guess we can't watch him because I've got to adjust that setting real quick. Audio, in-game. Maybe I should put that back up.
Your attempt was pathetic.
Whoa, now the heroes are so loud. This is weird. Because they separated those sliders in the patch. Actually, in the bot lane, we've got a bit of a development here, and the heroes are going to be... Oh my god, the announcer. So loud. And speaking of loud, it's Loud Metal running away. The Rocket Barrage goes off. And I kind of like this. Actually, in the top lane, we've got Lifestealer going down as well. 3-0 early on. It could be 4 here. Snow getting really low. One more attack could do it. There's the ward. It drops down, but the tree is still going to block that vision from the ward. We can actually just see where that vision goes to. So he scoots through here, and there's no vision. Nicely done. He will live. And okay, we're going to have to adjust this voice volume. Getting a little ridiculous. Alright, we'll do like right there. Kind of like voice louder. Alright, we're doing this on the fly. The patch, as they tend to, screw everything up for a little while, but very excited about the patch. Gyrocopter down here in the bot lane. He's going to be 12 and 8 on the CS charts, doing nicely for himself. 13 and 2 on the Troll. So those core heroes here for the Radiant doing very, very nicely. But in the mid lane, it's Clockwork having a pretty hard time, as you might expect, versus Batrider with that Napalm. 16 and 2 on FK's Batrider. We've got Elmo ER. 8 and 3 only, trying to push and grab that rune. Won't be able to. Disrupts the bat a little bit, but he's got the regen rune, so the mana and the HP loss. Not really too big of a deal there. And up top, trying to block him in there with that Plague Ward. Let's see. Gonna probably start maxing Plague Wards, I would imagine. Alright, regen rune gonna be popped up. So Batrider maybe looking to get aggressive. Yeah, he pops that regen rune. And without even knowing it, it's the supports rotating out here. Plague Warding up, looking for a hero somewhere. Maybe Jeeves. I mean, he's Lifestealer. He's a hero that can jungle. They could just put the supports in the lane, start jungling Jeeves. But, okay, Keegan and Xkai could be in a bit of trouble. Clockwork is pretty close by, has the hook. So if anything happens, it's a 3v3 engagement. But with Napalm, I feel like the Dire would have the advantage there. Trying to run away, and of course, open wounds. Very, very small range.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They're going to have to back off. I can't figure out, like, I've adjusted the voice volume slider to the point where it shouldn't be this loud, but it's still really, really loud. Oh, unit speech volume controls that. Alright, I think we figured it out. Alright, we've got Snow in the top lane, initiated onto once again by this aggressive tri-lane, which, well, on paper, I didn't think was going to be all this strong, but they pick up yet another kill there, and it's Epic Bulls 4-0 early in this game. We've got Jeeves getting really no farm, only 9 last hits on a Lifestealer compared to 11, up at 24, now leading the charts. So really the only lane doing well is that middle lane on that Batrider, and it's a hero that can get it done in the mid game. He's still going to need to farm up a Blink Dagger though before he can really successfully rotate. And even once he rotates, Clockwork as well can just TP to the lanes, has the hook shot to counter initiate off the lasso, and then there's the Lzuruha Gaming really not getting a lot done. Loud Metal in the bot lane, he's got a Soul Ring, but only 11 and 1. The Gyrocopter 11 more CS than that. So almost doubling in CS at 22 and 17. Gonna have some pretty big core items up. Goes Ring of Bass. Boots of Speed, has a Bracer online as well. Going for the Ring of Aquila. Probably going to go Phase Drums and then maybe BKB Helmet Dominator. Or into some damage items. Let's see. I feel like a Manta even this game would be a pretty good pickup just because of the open wounds, the Grave Chill, able to get out of that. So even if you see Batrider jump in, you can Manta up, and then it's going to be a little harder. Okay, rotation by Clockwork off the mid lane. Batrider is here, but is he close enough? Doesn't have a blink. They get one kill. Maybe you want to go back. FK has Invis. Looking to get somebody. Will grab 11 and try to pull him back. And yeah, he's going to get him. So 11 should be the first death here. Maybe not. Wand Charge is going to save him. A couple more attacks go out. The slow Ion Shell from Darkseer on the rotation will get him. Cogs up, but Batrider, of course, will just fly over it. And what did he have? Looked like he was moving really fast there. It was a haste turn maybe, but I don't think it was. Epizudic, though, will go down to these Plague Wards that just are... They get ridiculous once you drop 4 or 5 in a semi-extended team fight or engagement like that. Now applying Poison Sting, half the damage over time. And the full slow and duration, I believe, I feel like everything should be halved. It might be a good way to mitigate that, but I'm not really sure if everything is halved. I think it's just the damage at this point. But it's 6-1 early. We see the Radiant dominating the farming here on the last hit charts. We take a look at the graph. It's already at 3,000 gold advantage, almost at 3,000 XP, and at just 7 minutes and 50 seconds. That's pretty sizable. And it's going to be a long road back for Lzuruha Gaming. Luckily for them, they have an amazing lineup for defending the push. It's just going to be if they get picked off outside of their base. And it's FK trying to get aggressive in the mid lane. XKai comes through, will shut it down, throws out the slow, but Napalm now being a little... a bit of a nuisance, and they overextend big time. And right as I say, the game getting bad looking for Lzuruha Gaming. They turn it around right there. Although I gotta say, that's Epic Bulls being over aggressive in a rather silly play to jump into the tower like that against a Batrider with Napalm. Got them both there. They couldn't even turn around. TP comes in by Epizutic as well on the Shadow Shaman, and that's going to make the graph going to turn back around, heading towards equilibrium. We'll see where it ends up at 10 minutes. This leaves Keegan in the top lane on the Rubik, who didn't rotate there. Maybe should have just been the two supports. Instead, they give up their carry, one of the most farmed on the map there. Keegan, though, on the Rubik wants to hit 6, and that's maybe why they leave him here. Troll Warlord already 6. And back in the mid lane, Battle Trance online. They start wailing at the tower here, getting it pretty low. And will they get it here? There's no response coming yet. There's even a Venomancer looking to come push it. Yeah, this tower is going to go down. Plague Wards are there. Opting not to defend our Lzuruha. It's Jeeves still trying to farm up. Jeeves is at level 4 right now. That's very, very bad. Rasta at 5. Batrider is at 8, so he does have his last. So Familiar's going to be online pretty soon, and it could be IS2U who has seen, well, only the action he's created himself. He killed the Darkseer by himself, so 1-0 and 1, but basically hasn't left the lane, actually in the jungle. They're not going to try to let this Lifestealer find up any farm and get the team back in the game. They know they made a bit of a mistake there. It's going to be their carry that gets ganked up, so both supports and mids rotating around looking for the carries, but that's a lasso that goes off. No damage to follow up. They can't even fight this Gyrocopter at level 9. Here comes the Shadow Shaman that wasn't quite around. The TPs from the team to support. Kai is here, needs to block them in. Nicely done with that Plague Ward blocking the retreat. It's going to be Snow that goes down. Bit of annoying flame break. Nice Grave Chill. And is there enough mana for a Soul Assumption? There is. Nicely done, but they're going to clean up everybody else. At least Visage does get the Gyrocopter, but it goes 1 for 3 right there. Keegan with the double kill, and it could be Loud Metal in trouble. Looking to throw the hook. Will throw it. Cogs. No mana for Cogs. Maybe could have bottled up beforehand. Will they be able to chase? Surge has run out. Has another one in a second. Nope. Battery Assault. Going to shut that down. Captain Bamboo. Dangerous mission. Delivering items behind the tier 1 tower. Able to get away. Leading by 6 Epic Bulls after that engagement. It goes 3 for... I want to say 4. Yeah, 3. No, 2 for 4. 1 I cannot count or read apparently. 1 for 4. Only the Gyrocopter goes down in that engagement. So very, very nicely done there by Epic Bulls. It's unfortunate that Gyrocopter was the one to die, but he tanked up, he did his part. He's 2-1 and 2, he picked up some kills, still farming very well, 42-19, 48 and 3 on the Troll, and those are the two heroes at this point of the game where you really wanted to try to shut down their farm, and all of a sudden I like XKai less, as he does go for a Midas here at 11 minutes on the Venomancer. Actually, I hate to say it, but that might actually not be too bad of an idea right now. So the reason to go Midas is you expect the game to go late. You're a support. You want to get some big items at the 40-minute mark instead of, still just sitting on mana boots and maybe an urn or mana boots and a mech at 40 minutes. That's all you're ever going to get. You go Midas to pull up some reliable gold. It's going to be really, really hard to push this into the tier 3 towers onto that high ground with the Darkseer, who now is level 8. Sure, he's only level 8 now. There's no wall, but it would be impossible to start breaking the high ground before Darkseer is maybe level 11 with rank 2 wall. So they start prepping for the late game despite their early game advantage by picking up that Midas. It's also just something fun to do when you're really far ahead. And they find out Jeeves here. Level 6 finally does have Infest. They need to keep him away from those creep, and I think they're going to do just that. We actually will rage up and run away. Here comes the support. Lasso out by the Batrider. Snow on the Visage there with the Soul Assumptions. Batrider, even Darkseer showing up there. And can Elmo get away from this? The Familiars? Nope. And there's a nice Ether Shock from the Shadow Shaman. So that's everybody reacts to that. All 5 heroes are in that jungle right now, which means Gyrocopter farming up here in the top lane. And, well, now the support's here for the raid. Going to go farm up in the mid lane. Rubik's at level 8. Venomancer at 7. And after those kills, we see Snow at 6. Rasta actually at 7 as well. Let us check out the graphs. Gold still maybe 5,000-6,000 advantage. XP got up to about 4K, but it's really this that is problematic. We see Jeeves on a Lifestealer at level 6. Compare that to a Troll Warlord at 8 and a Gyrocopter all the way up at a whopping level 10 here as we approach 13 minutes. And who else? We got Bat Rider at 9, so we're looking for rank 2 lasso. Oh, find some familiars. Troll Warlord, a very nice hero to have versus familiars, actually. Just because of the battle trance, you can burst them down very, very quickly. And, well, they're able to get away here. The top tower actually going to fall. Mid already went down earlier. We saw Venomancer, Clockwork, and Troll Warlord with the battle trance take that. It's going to be Gyrocopter that last hits the top tier 1 tower. They got the bottom one as well, I believe around the same time as that mid tower. So all 3 tier 1 towers are down on the side of Lzuruha Gaming here. On the Dire in game 1, Epic Bulls is the home team, so they had the choice of either side or pick here in game 1. They chose Radiant, and Lzuruha chose first pick. In game 2, it's going to be Lzuruha that has the choice first, so it could be the same. Depends on how they want to do it or how they like to draft, either more of a Radiant team or a Dire team. I mean, you can do some different things, mainly with Earthshaker on either side that are very strong. Alright, we've got FK in the top lane. That's the Lifestealer bomb, and there it goes, dropping out of that Bat Rider. That's XKai in a bit of trouble. Can he live? No, he will go down 11, though they turn it around. Rasa is down. FK is going to be dropped, as well as the Lifestealer. Very, very nice cogs there. Counter initiation by the Clockwork. We talked a little bit about it earlier. Keegan steals Rage, actually a spell that pretty good to steal on that Rubik. You think you can kill this Rubik, you're like, we totally got him. One more stun. You overextend, he rages, and then he turns it around on you and you die. So he's got the Rage. I feel like it's sort of odd to even steal a spell from Lifestealer. And now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen a Rubik steal Infest before. I feel like that could be pretty funny. It's going to be 11 taking out that. Getting that farm on as we go back to the farm. It's going to be 65 and 3 on the Troll Warlord, 62, 24 on the Gyro. Taking a look at the net worth at large, it's going to be 4 out of 5, actually 5 out of the top 6 net worths are for the Radiant. We've got Troll Warlord at 6,000 gold, 5,700 for the Gyrocopter, 4,100 for the Clockwork, and then finally we find the Bat Rider FK on Lzuruha Gaming. He will be at 3.9k, and it's Venomancer at 3.8, and then even Rubik at 3.7. So you know you're having a bad game on Lifestealer when the supports of the other team are above you in net worth. It's actually Lifestealer at 3.5, and then even this Darkseer had a rough time, 3.4. And I don't normally go down the entire panel of net worth there when I read them out. I usually do the top 3, maybe top 4, but there's a lot neck and neck. After Gyro and Troll, everybody is fairly even. There's only, what, 700 gold differential between 6 people, which is kind of rare, but when your supports start off this well and all your lanes win, it's mainly just because the Radiant team is so neck and neck. Pretty high net worth between their offlaner and their supports, or their mid laner and their supports, actually. But here we go. Back into the action. Let's see if there will be any. The Radiant trying to push up the mid lane, looking to take out these towers. But now they're a little scared because, well, one of the best 5v5 teamfight abilities is online now for the Darkseer. Level 9 is Loud Metal, and he's got Wall of Replica. So maybe they're a little weary of that. Let's check out some core items. We got Kai with this Midas that he picked up at 11 minutes. Not the fastest, even with the type of game they were having. Maybe it'll pay off later. Maybe it'll be detrimental to the position they find themselves in now in that mid game, looking to take fights. We will see. It's going to be Rubik that goes for the 4-staff, and yeah, I would say the first thing that seems to be detrimental about picking up this Midas is that now there's no mechanism on this team, and with the mana problems that Venomancer has, I feel like Rubik's the better mech choice anyway. He also needs a 4-staff though to be able to get in position to get that spell steal and make other big plays. Clockwork, also another quality mech holder, unless I'm missing something. Gyro didn't go mech, and Troll's not going mech either. They're actually both going phase, drum, Aquila, BKB. Looks like he's skipping the drum, as Troll has already got that BKB online, treads, and BKB, so okay, they're not really following that much, but phase, drums, BKB coming out for the Gyro. Some core items, 4-staff on Rubik, 10,000 gold advantage already. Hook across will just be missing Snow. Lucky for him. He also had the familiars there trying to block any hooks, or at least just camping him over there. Pretty good point to leave your familiars. Swoop around behind somebody, cut them off when they try to retreat, bring them in to initiate whatever you need to do. And it's Gyrocopter in the top lane still continuing the farm, saying, guys, just let me get my BKB, and then we could wage some war. Also farming on the bottom lane, it's going to be 11 on this Troll Warlord. Has the BKB now, maybe looking for Well, you're a little tankier with Treads, BKB, and Aquila already. Could potentially go Desolator. It's not that common of an item. I think Lifesteal is a good next option, either Helmet Dominator or, for their sake, since they need to do some pushing, I think Vlad's could be that next item choice coming out here. Maybe a Deso later, just to, again, facilitate some split push, help breaking that high ground be a little faster. Top lane Lifestealer bomb onto IS2U on the Gyrocopter. Pretty tanky. He will maybe actually... No, he's not going to survive. Could have potentially BKB'd, got out of the open wounds and tried to run, but there's a lasso that goes through it as well. Actually, Epizudic on the Shadow Shaman was pretty close by. Everyone pretty close by. The Dire team, all 5 engaged in that. Loud Metal will go bottom as 11, getting that split push online, has the Battle Trance. Gets a couple last attacks on that tower. This is a very aggressive hook out here. That was a beautiful flame break. Takes him outside of the cogs, and that's going to allow Epizudic to live. He does use the Mass Serpent wards there, so that's a pretty big ultimate. Going to be off cooldown for a while, 100 seconds. Well, Elmo lives very, very tanky, but he gets sheeped up. He gets pushed out of the cogs. The sheep didn't really matter there. I mean, use sheep clockwork. It was sort of just a panic hex coming out from Shadow Shaman, because even if he is in a sheep or hex form, he's still going to pump that battery assault that he's already cast, which he had at that point. It was the flame break knocking him out of the cogs that allows Shadow Shaman to live, and Shadow Shaman maybe even overreacted dropping that, so they really can't take another fight here for 1 minute and 10 seconds until that Mass Serpent Ward ultimate comes back up, or think about maybe even pushing towers with it. They probably won't, though. They're down, what, 6 kills at the moment, 13-7. We already did check out the net worth. It's leveling off now at around 10,000 gold and about 7,000, 6,500 XP advantage. We check out level 8, level 9. It's really just Jeeves being level 9 on this core hero that's hurting them so much. 12 and 11 for the Gyro, for the Clockwork. Batrider and Darkseer have kept up pretty nicely. And it's actually, I feel like Batrider won the mid lane as well. But Elmo's rotations were a little more spot on. And it's easier on Clockwork. I feel like Batrider, not what he used to be, and tried to make those rotations before having that Blink Dagger online. It wasn't quite as strong. Losing a few early engagements were Lzuruha Gaming, but they're still in this game. I mean, look at this. They lost all the tier 1s, pretty much without contest. They were very far behind. They didn't have Wall online, but suddenly Wall comes up. It's rank 2 right now on the Darkseer, and the Radiant are just so scared to push in. Even to a tier 2, it's only going to get harder as they go to break the high ground. So despite the early advantage, it's really anyone's game, and that almost makes this a better idea, going for that Hand of Midas early on, prepping for the late game. So now Venomancer picks up that mechanism for the team. Darkseer's had his for a little while, of course, going to be going for that. It wasn't the fastest mech ever recorded, of course, as they were having a pretty tough time. Even Darkseer in the bot lane, a little outlaned by the Gyro. Hard matchup, actually. Force Staff comes up for the Gyrocopters, so just looking to be a little more versatile. Cog up the Lifestealer. I'd say Force Staff's probably the #1 item on Clockwork when going versus Lifestealer. Seems to be the first choice, and that's basically because you can cog him, hook him, cog him up, and then go ahead and force yourself out of your own cogs, and then go help out with the team fight. Lifestealer is like, well, I can't do anything. I'm useless for 5 seconds or whatever rank it's at now. It's actually going to be 7 or 8 seconds of just sitting in the cogs. A beautiful item, and I would say it's probably picked up 90% of the time versus Lifestealer. That Force Staff on Clockwork, and well, the Roshan, prepping for the Roshan with these poison wards is X-Kai on the Venomancer, and the team just rolls up, takes it with the Battle Trance, and it is going to be Lifesteal next for 11. I hope he doesn't go Helmet Dominator at this point. Vlad's is going to be so much better. Helmet Dominator's that early game item you scoop up and then say, alright, I'm going to stack up jungle camps with this, I'm going to stack the Ancients with this, and then farm up and maybe be a little greedy with it. It's also a great item, and it does give you flat damage. Not that much, but it's nice. He goes Helm. I think Vlad's here is better. Just so your team has the Vlads. That Aura will help out the Gyrocopter. You still get the Lifesteal and the Aura. So as you go late game, the Vlads becomes better than the Helm of Dominator anyway. And did he even dominate a creep? I don't see anything running over. It's actually with the Plague Wards. X-Kai's working on taking out the Ancients, so I would have liked to have seen a Vlad's more so than the Helm of Dominator. Only 20 damage. Vlad's gives the same armor, it gives the same lifesteal, and it gives a 16% damage aura. So eventually, at some point in this game, 16% of your damage will be a lot more than just 20. So yeah, I think Vlad's is better, especially as this late in the game after a BKB. Maybe going the Helm first could be okay, but alright, enough of that. Just so people are aware, maybe if you're less experienced on what to buy. That's only my opinion, of course. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? But Vlad's, I would have liked to seen it better because they're going to have trouble pushing into the high ground. IS2U, he went BKB first, he goes phase, he goes drums, he only hits for 166, so 22 minutes in, he's tanky, he can do a lot of damage with spells, a decent amount with Flak Cannon on the right click, but he needs to get up that next big damage item. Well, Manta's not the biggest damage item, but Manta, I think in this game would be pretty nice versus all the open wounds and the grave chills, and having to pick a target with lasso or soul assumption. They could potentially guess wrong, but I don't know. I feel like MKB is pretty much just the item to go. It's going to be a little slow on the attack speed, but that doesn't really matter here with this Troll Warlord with Battle Trance. And the makings of a Heaven's Halberd, I guess, coming out for Keegan here on the Rubik. That Aegis does go to the Troll Warlord. 15,000 gold advantage, and it's actually Lzuruha Gaming who don't even want to go defend that, as they expect. They don't see anyone on the map except for the mid lane, so they know that all 5 are around. They make the right decision, I think. I don't know if they can take it. So we've got 2 BKBs, 2 Force Staffs, and a Mechanism, so they're ready to fight and push these towers. They move as 5 here on Epic Bulls and look to take down all the tier 2s. Over on the Dire, we've got that Force Staff up on the Batrider as well as the Blink. Still at Boots 1 though, and I think almost Boots mobility is more important now than just the Blink and the Force Staff, only because of this radius being so small now. You need, if you don't blink right on top of somebody, you need to be able to move pretty quickly and get in position. So I've seen a lot of people just rushing the Boots of Travel build. We've got Jeeves with an Armlet and Treads now finally, but that's only at 24 minutes. Mechanism on Loud Metal looks to be he working towards a Force Staff as well, and there's a Medallion of Courage on Snow going towards either a BKB, which I feel like is maybe a little unlikely, so probably going for that Aghanim's Scepter. And actually all top 5 on the net worth here for the Radiant at just 24 minutes 40 seconds. This is game 1 in a best of 3. Epic Bulls Lzuruha Gaming, and it's Epic Bulls that look to be breaking into that high ground first. All the outer tier 2 towers, all the outer towers have fallen. Battle Trance is being popped here now, going on this tower, trying to force out the Glyph of Fortification. They're going to have to throw it. They throw it now, so that's put on cooldown for 5 minutes. Looking to defend. The high ground defense is Darkseer here, but there's really not too much initiations besides the Batrider, who just gets countered or blows up immediately. They can't even initiate with the Bat Bomb. There they go, Bat in. He's even surged up as well. Going to be cogged up. Drags 1, drops immediately. Ultimate from Loud Metal. Nice wall onto a few. 11. The first to go down, the only one to go down here. Oh, it's a rampage for IS2U. Sitting on the backside of that with the BKB, the call down. Everybody clumps. GG, well played. Go next, says Lzuruha. And yeah, feeling pretty defeated there. Dominant performance in that tri lane, really winning it for them. Also, Gyrocopter had the matchup of his life in that bottom lane, doing very, very well. Mid did go the way of Lzuruha Gaming. They got that one, but it wasn't enough. I mean, Batrider's pretty nerfed right now. I still definitely a good hero, but Clockwork's rotations were better and more effective early. And that being said, putting Batrider and Darkseer on your team, it sounds good on paper. Like, you can surge Batrider, you can initiate better, but it's just, I can't even figure out why. It's just so bad. I think if you looked up the win rate of those 2 heroes together, it would be surprisingly low, as we will get into game 2, potentially game 3 here. Epic Pool's looking to close it out 2-0. Lzuruha looking to obviously win another one and win it 2-1. So we'll get another game going here for you pretty soon. If you were watching in-game, make sure to check it out. Twitch.tv/PlayCEVO1. And if you're watching on stream, big shout out to you guys already. If you like the content here, do make sure to follow the stream. There'll be a lot of Dota 2 and CSGO. Some other games coming as well, and also check out CEVO.com/watch, as I've got to host this lobby, and it looks like the Dota network, did it go down? It's being a little weird. Game client out of date. No, we're good actually. Nice. Being a little laggy though in here. Alright, the team's coming back in. We're going to throw it over to some music here, so we'll be right back with Game 2, Epic Bulls versus Lzuruha Gaming. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to give out your records. Epic Bulls is 4-3, Lzuruha Gaming 3-4, so teams in the middle of the pack here in CEVO-Main Season 3. Epic Bulls obviously looking to maybe pull ahead here with going 5-3 off of this, which would be unfortunate for Lzuruha, and Lzuruha looking to go even, that 50% win right here. They could go 4-4 tonight, as we'll get into the game shortly.